CNET Electronic Science June 2025 question paper solutions teaching and research aptitude part 2, that is from question number 26 to question number 50. Question number 26, the term andragogy refers to. Andragogy is commonly defined as art or adults science of teaching adults or helping adults to learn. Correct answer is option 3, adult learning theory. Let us see the differences between pedagogy and andragogy. This pedagogy and andragogy are both approaches to teaching, but they differ primarily in focus. Pedagogy is art and science of teaching children. Art and science of teaching children is pedagogy, whereas andragogy is art and science of teaching adults. Pedagogy emphasizes a teacher directed approach whereas andragogy highlights self directed and exponential learning for the adults. For the question, correct answer is option 3. The term andragogy refers to adult learning theory. Next question, which of the following is not a step in scientific research? Statement 1, this is an ending aspect of science with the process consistently being not repeated with decreasing refinement. Statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2, casual observation of event phenomenon. Statement 2 is correct. Wonder, curiosity about how, why, what, etc. Correct. Hypothesis about the relation between the two variables. These three statements are steps in the scientific research, whereas statement 1 is not a step in the scientific research. Let us see the points here. Scientific method. A systematic approach to research involves observation, question formation, hypothesis development, experimentation, data analysis, and conclusion. Scientific research is iterative, results are often revisited, refined, and retested. Scientific research is inherently iterative, experiments are often repeated with increasing refinement. In statement 1, they have given decreasing refinement. It is wrong. Correct answer is option 1. Not a step in the scientific research. Let us see some more points here. Casual observation of an event or phenomenon. It is a valid step in scientific research. Wonder, curiosity about how, why, what, etc. Curiosity is a fundamental driver of scientific inquiry. It motivates researchers to ask questions and seek explanations. Hypothesis about the relationship between two variables. Formulating a hypothesis is a core step in scientific method. Question number 28. Here in list 1, books titles are given. In list 2, authors are given. Research methodology, a step-by-step guide for the beginners by Ranjit Kumar. And the author for mass media research and introduction is Roger D. Wimmer and Joseph R. Dimnick. Similarly, for research methods, Ram Ahuja, business research methods, H.K. Dungy. Let us see the options here. Research methodology, step by step guide for the beginners. Correct answer is Ranjit Kumar. So, A, it matches to 3. Mass media research and introduction. Mass media research introduction. The correct answer is B, 4. Roger D. Wimmer, Joseph R. Dominic. Business research methods. For business research methods, H.K. Dungy. H.K. Dungy. C matches to 2. Next, research methods, Ram Ahuja. Here it is Ram Ahuja D1. Therefore, A3, B4, C2, D1. Correct answer is option 1. Question number 29. Lord Macaulay had written in his famous minutes called Macaulay Minutes in the year. So it is year 1835. On February 2nd, 1835, British historian and politician Thomas B. Macaulay delivered his minutes on Indian education, which sought to establish the need for Indian natives to receive an English education. Lord Macaulay Minute of 1835 marked a pivotal moment in India's colonial history, advocating for the promotion of English education and shaping the trajectory of country's educational landscape. This is the Macaulay Minutes is mentioned here. Here it is 2nd February 1835. Correct answer option 4. Question number 30. List 1 types of knowledge is given and list 2 assessment literacy is mentioned. So we need to match list 1 with list 2. First one is type of the purpose of assessment. Purpose of assessment, it relates to educator's purpose with the assessment. This refers to why the assessment is being conducted. Purpose of assessment is refers to why the assessment is being conducted. So for A it is 3 relates to educator purpose with the assessment. Second is what to assess. This involves the content or skills being evaluated. Content or skills being evaluated which is associated with the purpose of assessment and deep rooted in the values and principles. So B matches to 4. Next, assessment strategies. These methods are used to assess which correspond to an educator assess students' learning and concept scientific and content scientific knowledge. So C matches to 1. Next, interpretation and action taking. Interpretation and action taking. This involves how the assessment data is used, matching educators' intention with assessment data. So D is 4. Therefore, correct answer is A3, B4, C1, D2. Option 1. Question number 31. If there is a fault in the mechanical or electrical channel, if there is a fault in mechanical or electrical channel, the free flow of communication will be obstructed. This obstruction is taking place at which level? So let us see. Communication involves several key concepts, that is source, encoder, channel is transmission, receiver and feedback. So here transmission is the medium through which message travels. Wires are wireless communication. If there is a fault in mechanical or electrical channel, it means medium used to transmit the message is disrupted. This directly affects the transmission level, where message typically where message physically travels from sender to receiver. So correct answer is option 1, transmission level. Question number 32. Rearrange the sequence to write a lesson plan. So the elements of lesson plan are: one is pre-planning, lesson opening, lesson layout, extended practice and closure of the lesson. First one is pre-planning. This is the first thing. Lesson layout, second one. Second one is lesson opening. Third one is lesson layout. Fourth one is extended practice. Fifth one is closure of lesson. So that is B, A, C, E, D. Correct answer is option 4. The correct sequence for writing lesson plan is B, A, C, E, D. Question number 33. The mean and standard deviation of different data sets are given in A to D below. Compute the coefficient of variation of each data set and arrange them in ascending order, increasing order. So for option, so the coefficient of let us see the definition for coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation is a statistical measure of relative dispersion of data points in a data series around the mean. Coefficient of variation is given as standard deviation to sample mean. Here standard deviation S is given and mean M is given. For option A, coefficient of variation CV, it's a ratio of standard deviation S value is 14, mean is 60. So its value is 0.233. For option B, coefficient of variation is standard deviation 16 and mean is 70, 0.2285. For option C, coefficient of variation standard deviation 5 and mean is 80. So it is 5 by 80, 0.0625. Coefficient of variation for option D, S is equal to 4 and mean is 90. 4 by 90, it is 0.044. Now in increasing order is D less than, C less than, B less than A. Correct answer is option 4. Next question, directors and films. Orson Welles. So for Charlie Chaplin, City of Lights. Charlie Chaplin, City of Lights. And for Walter Wanger, Stagecoach. Stagecoach for John Ford. John Ford. John Ford is Stagecoach. Next for Orson Welles, Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane, Orson Welles. A matches to 4. Next, Rear Window, Alfred. Alfred Hitchcock, it is Rear Window. A4, B1, C2, D3. Correct answer is option 2. Next question. Arrange the following program in order of their incorporation. NAEP, National Education Policy Program, launched in 1978. So National Adult Education Program 1978. It is introduced in 1978. National Literacy Mission started in 1988. National Literacy Mission 1988. Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan introduced in 2001. Padhana Likhna Abhiyan launched in 2020. After Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan introduced in 2001, its goal is achieving 100% literacy. Therefore, C is followed by A and finally E, Padhana Likhna Abhiyan. Question number 36. In the context of AI, NRF may consider three prolonged approach. These are, so as per National Education Policy, para number 23.9, in response to MHRD's formal recognition of new disruptive technology, the National Research Foundation NRF National Research Foundation will initiate or expand research efforts in the technology in the context of AI. NRF may consider three-pronged approach. One is advancing core AI research. Statement D, developing and deploying application-based research. Statement B, advancing international research efforts to address global challenges in areas such as healthcare, agriculture, and climate change using artificial intelligence. Statement A. The correct answers are A, B, D. Option 1. Three-pronged approach in NRF in the context of AI typically focus on advancing international research to address global challenges, advancing core AI research, efforts to address global challenges through research. Next question. Which fallacy is committed in the following statement? God exists since it is written in the scriptures. Since scriptures are the words of a God, whatever written in them is true. It is begging the question. This argument is circular. It assumes that conclusion that God exists by using a premise that depends on the conclusion itself, that is scriptures. Here premise 1 is God exists because it is written in the scriptures. Premise 2 is scriptures are true because they are the words of God. It creates a circular dependency which is a hallmark of begging the question. Circular dependency which is hallmark of begging the question. This fallacy occurs when argument premise assume that truth of a conclusion instead of supporting it. It is a classic case of circular reasoning. So hasty generalization means no generalizing from insufficient evidences. Red herring means no irrelevant distraction is introduced. Slippery slope, no chain reaction of consequences claimed. Therefore, correct answer is begging the question. Next question. Which of the following propositions are so related that they can neither be true together nor they can be false together? Statement A, proposition A, all printers are computer peripherals. It is of universal affirmative. For B, some computer peripherals are printers, particular affirmative. Some printers are not computer peripherals, particular negative. No printer are computer peripherals, universal negative. So from here, the contradictory pair is A and C. All printers are peripherals, some printers are not peripherals. These two cannot be true and cannot be false. If A is true, C is false. If C is true, A is false. This is the definition of contradiction. So here, correct contradictory pair is A and C. Option 3. Question number 39. Dash is assessment which can be seen as informal. So summative assignment, typically formal, used to evaluate the learning at the end of instructional unit. Formative assessment is informal, used during the learning process to monitor the progress. Subject reviews assessment, not a standard term in assessment types. Observation assessment, it is also informal, especially in early education or practitioner settings. Here the correct answers are formative assessment as well as observation assessment. Both 2 and 4 are correct. Let us see some points related to these assessments. Summative assessment measures what students have learned at the end of the course. At the end of the course, unit or a program. It is formal. Formative assessment checks the student's progress during the learning progress, often conversational, on the spot feedback, which is informal. Subject reviews assessment, reviewing and evaluating the subject content or topics, usually more formal. Examples are unit test, chapter and test. Next is observation assessment, evaluating learners by watching them in action. It can be informal or formal depending on the context. Here the correct answers are formative and observation assessment. Next question. www.ncert.nic.in in the following web address is called dash. It is domain name. Correct answer is option 3. So let us see in brief. DNS server. This DNS server, it is a server that translates human readable domain names into IP address. So the work of DNS server is transferring domain names into IP addresses. Subdomain, it is a part of domain that becomes that comes before the main domain came. That is www is a subdomain of ncrt.nic.in. Next is domain name, the human readable address used to identify a website on internet is domain name. Uniform resource identifier, a generic term for all kinds of names and addresses that refers to resources on the internet. URL is a type of URI. Uniform resource locator is a type of uniform resource identifier. From this, the correct answer is domain name, human readable address used to identify a website on internet, that is example.com. www.ncrt.nic.in is a domain name in the URL. Option 3 is correct. Some more points is domain name is unique address of a website that users type into the browser to visit it. Top level domain name, second level domain name, third level domain name or subdomain. Domain name system server. A DNS server translates human readable domain names into IP addresses. Next question. Find the number that can replace the question mark in the series given below. So 3 plus 8. So 3, first term is 3, second term is 8, third term is 15. So add plus 5 here. We will get 3 plus 5 is 8. Next, for 8 plus 15, the difference is 7. For 15, 24, the difference is 9. Here odd numbers. From 35, 24, the difference is 11. 48, 35, the difference is 13. 63, 48, the difference is 15. Add 15 to 48. Add 15 to 48. We will get the next number 63. Correct answer is option 3. Next question. As per the book, The Five C's of Cinematography by Joseph V. Maselli, arrange the following C's in order of chapters given in the book. The correct order of 5 C's in cinematography is camera angles, continuity, cutting, close-ups, composition. Correct answer is A, E, D, C, B. Option 1. 43. Which of the following are true about moderator used in nuclear reactors? Moderators are used to slow down neutrons to thermal energies, making them more likely to cause fission and sustain the chain reaction. Moderators do not stop the neutrons, but they slow down the neutrons. Control rods absorb the neutrons. These control rods absorb the neutrons, stop or control the reaction. Without moderator, fast neutrons would escape or fail to induce fission efficiently, halting the chain reaction. Graphite rods are common moderators. Okay, let us see the statements. Moderators slow down the neutrons to sustain the chain reaction. Statement A is correct. Moderator stops the neutrons in control chain reaction. Statement B is incorrect. They won't stop but they slow down. But control rods stop the neutrons. Statement C, without moderator chain reaction would stop. Statement C is correct. Next, statement D. Example of moderator is graphite rod. Correct. Correct answer is A, C, D. Question number 44. In a certain code language, where is coded as 5, 18, 5, 8, 23 and Delhi coded as 9, 8, 12, 5, 4. How horse is coded in that language? Write the alphabets in the sequence here. W, H, E, R, E. So where is coded as 5, 18, 5, 8, 23. So generally for W it is 23, W it is 23, H 8, E is 5, R is 8, and then E is 5. It is coded in reverse direction. Here the code sequence is coded in reverse direction. Next for Delhi, for D it is 4, E5, L12, H8, I9. In reverse direction, it can be written as 9, 8, 12, 5, 4. Similarly, for the word horse, H O R S C, H is 8, 15, O is 15, R is 18, S is 19, and then E is 5. Arrange this in the reverse direction. So we will get 5, 19, 18, 15, 8. Correct answer is 5, 19, 18, 15, 8. Option 2 is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following is correct sequence of largest to smallest unit of memory access time? Here millisecond is 10 power minus 3. Picosecond is 10 power minus 12. Nanosecond is 10 power minus 9. Microsecond is 10 power minus 6. And second is unit of time. Largest unit of time. Therefore, correct sequence here is E A D C B. Option 3 is the correct answer. In the question they have given from largest to smallest. Here largest is second, followed by millisecond, microsecond, second, millisecond, microsecond, and then nanosecond, picosecond. This is the correct sequence. From question number 46 to question number 50, it is related to comprehension. Read the following passage carefully and answer the questions. The rule of road means that in order that the liberties of all may be preserved, comma, the liberties of everybody must be curtailed. When a policeman say at a road crossing steps into the middle of the road and puts out his hand, he is the symbol not of tyranny but of liberty. You have submitted to a curtailment of private liberty in order that you may enjoy a social order which makes your liberty a reality. We have both liberties to preserve, our individual liberty and our social liberty. This is we must have a judicious mixture of both. I shall not permit any authority to say that my child must go to this school or that shall specialize in science or art. These things are personal. But if I say that my child shall have no education at all, then society will firmly tell me that my child must have education whether I like it or not. So let us see the words mentioned in this passage. Liberty. So liberty refers to the state or condition in which an individual has a freedom to act according to their will without undue restraint or coercion from the external forces. Liberty is generally defined as freedom to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrances, especially those imposed by the authority. Next, liberty different types. Personal liberty emphasizes individual autonomy and freedom in private matters. Personal liberty refers to the freedom of an individual to live their life without unnecessary interference from the government or other individuals as long as their actions do not harm others. Individual liberty encompasses the freedom enjoyed by each person within a society. Individual liberty is a broader concept of rights and freedoms held by the persons as individual, especially in matters of thought, expression, belief, and personal autonomy. Next is social liberty. It's focused on equality, justice, and freedom within the society. Social liberty refers to the freedom of individuals within a society that is balanced with social responsibilities and norms. It emphasizes liberty that exists in a social, harmonious, and morally guided environment. Next is collective liberty. It refers to freedoms and rights of groups or communities. Collective liberty refers to the freedom enjoyed by the groups or communities rather than individuals. It is about ensuring the group as a whole can act freely, often linked with the domestic or social rights. Next, liberty refers to freedom from external constraints or control, while rights are entitlements or claims that are legally or morally protected. So these are the some definitions related to the passage. See the first question. One needs to preserve individual liberty, social liberty, personal liberty, or both individual and social. Correct answer is option 4. One needs to preserve both individual and social liberty. Question number 47. Selection of school for a child study will be considered as, so it is considered as personal. These things are personal. I shall not permit any authority to say that child must go to this school or that school, shall specialize in science or arts. So this is personal, which is a personal liberty. Question number 48. The author intends to tell the rule of road stands for. It is liberty in a true sense of a word. Liberty in true sense of a word. Liberty that harmonizes personal and societal needs. Question number 49. Most suitable title of the passage would be. It is importance of liberty. It is not related to road laws, policeman at the crossroads, children rights. It is this passage focuses on importance of liberty. Question number 50. To preserve liberties of all, they should be reduced to a reasonable extent. Liberties are not withdrawn, liberty should not be selective, should not be refined, but liberty should be reduced to a reasonable extent.